And Taylor Rocha is standing by from Michelob Ultra Arena. But first, let's head out to the Fortress. And Nick Walters is out there at Toshiba Plaza. Hey, Nick.
Well, the Minnesota Wild were tamed, and now the Golden Knights go striking for oil. For the 5th time in 8 seasons, and for the first time since the team hoisted the Stanley Cup in that building 2 years ago, the Knights play a round 2 playoff game. And just like they did in 2023, they're facing a divisional rival in the Edmonton Oilers. Now, if that playoff matchup sounds familiar to you, that's because it's happened before. In the same round 2 years ago, the Pacific Division champion Knights were pinned against their division rivals, and Vegas won in 6 games. While some names on that Stanley Cup winning team are gone, many remain. The VGK went 1-1-1 against Edmonton this regular season, last falling 3-2 on April Fool's Day. Now it's a long chess match of a series, and Game 1 is giving both sides the chance to see how to play their cards.
They like to get back playing. They just want to play this time of year. It's all about the game. Practices are so minimal. Game ones, to me, are feeling out process in a series. Will that happen because we know each other a little better than we knew Minnesota? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, to be honest. But that's how it usually starts. It takes a while to get the animosity built up and matchups and who's going, who's not. You're feeling out the standard of officiating to how aggressive can you be. So there's a lot of that going on.
So check out how this series played out in 2023. A very back-and-forth affair with no team winning consecutive games until the Knights took games 5 and 6 to put this thing to bed. And of course, Vegas went on to dim the stars and pound the Panthers to win their first Stanley Cup. And now the Knights have the chance to have history repeat itself with Dallas, one of 4 Western Conference teams still alive. Now, winger Pavel Dorofeev is out for tonight's game. He also missed Game 6 against the Wild, but the hope is that the talented team leader in goals scored this season can return for Game 2 on Thursday. But Toshiba Plaza is filling up with plenty of fans who are ready to rock and see the Golden Knights try to win Game 1 of round 2. But another place in Vegas that is really getting hyped up right now is Michelob Ultra Arena. And that's where we find our very own Taylor Rocha. Taylor, how's it going out there? Well, I don't know about you at home, but I know I and all 20,000 fans either on Toshiba Plaza or inside T-Mobile Arena right now are ready for round 2 playoff hockey to return to Vegas. Just a half hour out from puck drop as the Golden Knights are starting their series against the Oilers. And fans are getting ready to wave their battle towels. After the break, all the game preview.
Nick Walters is live at Toshiba Plaza tonight where the energy ahead of tonight's game continues to build. Seeing the crowd head in there. Hey there, Nick.
Well, guys, the energy out here is palpable. For the 5th time in 8 seasons, these Vegas Golden Knights are filling this plaza and that arena with fans who are ready to rock for round 2. And this is the first time that they played a playoff game deeper than the first round since the team hoisted the Stanley Cup in 2023. And what's more, it comes against an opponent that the VGK saw in that Cup run. Now, look, it wasn't always easy last week when we saw the Golden Knights take care of business in round 1, ripping off 3 straight wins to bury the Wild in 6 games. Overtime game-winning goals in Game 4 and in Game 5 led to a series-clinching road win last Thursday. Now the stage is set for a 2023 playoff rematch. The Knights and Oilers doing battle in round 2. Vegas winning in 6 games and going on to hoist the Stanley Cup. That series was back and forth. No team winning back-to-back games until the Knights took games 5 and 6 to move on to the conference final, eventually winning the whole shebang. But that's the distant past for the Knights, who are only focusing on the here and now.
I don't think you really look back on it. It's 2 years later. They have different guys on their team. We have a different group over here. You're going to draw more towards taking stuff from their series against LA and what they've done this year in the regular season against us and try and learn from that as opposed to looking back to a series.
You look at what they're doing now. You look at how their power play is working now, different things that they're kind of looking for, tendencies of players, stuff like that. At the end of the day, I feel like we have the team in here that if we go out and we play our game and execute our game plan, it will be tough to beat.
It's a familiar opponent. You got to use all experience you can to be able to play guys like that, and we have a good test ahead of us.
This group is
this is battle tested, and you have to be resilient during the playoffs. You know, we won the last 3 games, but I don't think our game plan changed too much.
Good way to win. We went through some adversity. You know, in a week's time, it'll feel like months ago that the first round playoffs. You move on, and you just kind of gear up for the next opponent.
This group has helped me come in here and made me feel like I never left. This group here is pretty special, and we expect a lot from ourselves.
So will we see the triumphant Knights that took the ice in their last 3 outings, or will the neon lights of Vegas get dimmed like they did in the 2 games prior against the Wild? Now the VGK will continue to be without Pavel Dorofeev, the breakout star right wing, continuing to deal with an injury that held him out of Game 6 last week against the Wild. All right, puck drop is at 6:30. We'll have more on Channel 13 at 11. But for now, guys, let's go and send it back to you.
Sports reporter Nick Walters was there, and he has the highlights.
Well, in the Vegas Golden Knights' first playoff game, deeper than the first round since lifting the Stanley Cup on that ice 2 years ago, it's a rivalry rumble, and the VGK can't strike oil. Vegas starts red hot, but then goes ice cold the rest of the way, being shut out in the final 50 minutes and allowing 4 unanswered Edmonton goals, 3 of which in the third period. Being ousted by the Oilers 4-2 on home ice, falling down 1-0 on this round 2 series.
It is what it is. Obviously not the outcome we wanted. There's some good parts of the game, some bad parts of the game. We'll go over it. Get ready for Thursday night's game because it's going to be a big one for us.
We can bounce back. You know, we're confident in our group. We let that one slip away, which is tough, especially at home. But for us, I think there's no panic. It's just reset and get on to the next.
The Knights missing Pavel Dorofeev and a surprise last-second inactive Alec Pietrangelo out with an illness. Golden Knights take no time to get medieval. 2 minutes in on a 4-minute power play, Mark Stone is the first to light up the scoreboard this series. The captain in front of the net deflecting Shea Theodore's shot. Midway through the frame, Stone strikes again, and this goal ties Stone as the franchise's all-time leader in playoff scoring. Tempers flare later in the first. The first fight of this series breaks out with Caden Korzak and Nick Hague in the mix. The Oilers get on the board before the first intermission to make it a 2-1 game. After a scoreless second period in which Vegas only took 1 shot, the first minute of the third, Leon Draisaitl centers. The puck bounces off Adin Hill and into the back of the net. Tough break for the VGK. It's a 2-2 game late in the third, and Vegas can't swing the momentum. Edmonton, Zach Hyman, and Connor Brown netting goals 76 seconds apart to have VGK fans make their way for the exits with a minute and a half on the clock. The Knights attempt just 7 shots in the last 2 periods, and their 3-game win streak is snapped. The team says their offensive game just wasn't good enough tonight.
We didn't execute at a super high level through the neutral zone tonight, and it kind of cost us our ozone time. Like I said, we just didn't execute that great with the puck when we had our opportunities to hem them in.
I don't think it was terrible. I really don't. I don't think we executed well enough. That's different than puck management. We need to make one more pass, or we need to win one more battle.
You guys know Edmonton pretty well as divisional rivals, but is there anything that maybe surprised you about their game tonight?
Not too much. You know, I think it's pretty standard. We know how good of a hockey team they are. We all watched the playoffs. We saw how they matched up against LA, so not too much. I just think we didn't have a good enough hockey game.
It takes resiliency to win the Stanley Cup, and from what we know about this veteran-laden group of Golden Knights, they do not lack in that department. They'll be right back here on home ice Thursday night for Game 2 when they'll try to even the series, and hopefully they'll have Pavel Dorofeev back in the lineup. From T-Mobile Arena, I'm Nick Walters, Channel 13 Sports.